Have you ever been to a lecture theatre and you see students sitting and listening to a tutor talking to them about a concept? You see students attentive, wanting to listen for what the lecturer has to say, and afterwards they just leave the class. Hardly will you find interactions on the topic just discussed among them. It's more like they just listen to what the lecturer has to say again and go home. It's like an instructor is feeding the robot. You know how you input data into the computer and it gives you an output? That's more or less what education is like currently. People come to class and they receive what the lecturer has to say without taking time to even question back the assertions of the lecturer. The truth remains that the tutor might not always be updated even if he was correct. As a matter of fact, at other times he might not be able to make adequate submissions on the topic, so much that the student in class can have a better understanding on the topic. Students are not just in school to get from people, they are also in school to share. Students are also stakeholders when it comes to education. They are important. I have cases where back then, while I was a teacher at an elementary school, I would give out an aptitude test to my pupils, more like a competition among them with little prizes at times, and see who comes up first with the right answer. While I also embark on the same quest. I will be shocked at times to see some of the pupils coming to me with the answer even before I figure it out. I never limited their ability and capacity to think. I gave them that much freedom, although I might not make it obvious to them that I don't yet know the answers to, and most times they assume I know all things. But the truth is that sometimes I do not yet know, especially when the aptitude test has to do with little arithmetic. They all do have bright and smart brains. Coming to college seems to be a different ballgame. Some people are regarded as the sole disseminators of knowledge, which ought not to be so. We come to school to share. We come to share ideas. The system and its legislators have expunged that notion of sharing, so much that sharing is seen most times as malpractice. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about not abiding by rules in the examination halls, but the truth is we need more of group work, shared thinking, much more than the great test we highly regard. If we talk about national cohesiveness, we need to teach it in our schools. How do we preach national cohesiveness when in education the child force public corporate participation? It's not of the scope entirely. Supporting the fellow classmate or colleague when it comes to improvement in learning is seen at times as an endeavor which will result in someone else outsmarting you. We need to build relationships. Building relationship, I believe, should be exalted far above grades in our schools. When that is, we can have a better education system. When you are at your low times, since every man has low time and high time, peaks and valleys, that makes life fun. That makes life fun and thrilling. You can't surround yourself with certificates and accolades. You need people. You need people. We need people.